D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Also, down below in the description, you can find the articles that I read to do this video, and like I said, you can read them and come up with your own opinion of each story. Also, if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. Recently, YouTube did a old count and bot cleanse, like 6 months ago or whatnot, and there was some collateral damage, so please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos, and I thank you in advance. So why don't we just dive right into these stories, okay? So for the first story, Bob Iger is back in the driver's seat at Disney. Less than 2 months after he resigned as chief executive of the Mouse House, Iger, who currently holds the title of executive chairman, is retaking the helm, according to a new report. The celebrated exec told the New York Times on Sunday that he stepped up after handing the CEO reins to Bob Chapek. Sorry. I almost said Bob Paycheck, that's funny. The former head of the parks and resorts business, because Disney is being crushed by the impact of the coronavirus. A crisis of this magnitude and its impact on Disney would necessarily result in my actively helping Bob Chapek and the company contend with it. Partially since I ran the company for 15 years, and Iger said that in an email to the New York Times. In the weeks following his February 25th departure, Iger saw the pandemic force the closure of all Disney theme parks and cruise ships, which was huge revenue for them. An analysis estimate that the Mouse House has lost $500 million just from closing its parks through March alone. Now, while Disney Plus, the company's streaming service, appears to be a bright spot, boasting more than 50 million paid subscribers within 5 months of launch, the company has started massive layoffs. Walt Disney World in Florida said over the weekend it is furloughing 43,000 employees beginning April 29th. And Disneyland in California is furloughing 30,000 workers, while an unspecified number of cruise line, movie production, and corporate employees will also be laid off. And Disney also enacted payoff cuts, with Iger foregoing his salary during the pandemic. Now, an analysis done by Michael Nathison estimated that Disney theme parks in the U.S. could face a potential $3.4 billion revenue loss this year due to ongoing coronavirus closures and an ensuing recession. Now, the Disney-owned ESPN has also been hit hard as live sporting events have been suspended. And with movie theaters closed, Disney was forced to push back the premiere of its big-ticket blockbusters such as Mulan, Black Widow, and Dwayne Johnson's Jungle Cruise. Now, in order to keep costs down, Iger said he anticipates ending expensive old-school television practices like producing pilots for shows that may not air and advertising upfront presentations, all of which were canceled this spring, the report said. And Disney is also expected to lay off more employees and downsize office space, but Iger noted that staffing decisions will be made by Chapek, not him. So that's the first story, and it's really sad. I enjoy Disney. I love Disney. I'm a Disney girl all the way, but I just, it is sad that I'm super bummed that people are losing their jobs. That's the part of this that really bothers me the most, is that people are losing their jobs and being laid off and furloughed and all that stuff. It's just, and furlough is when you get laid off, but you still have a job to come back to when they do start ramping things back up. But it's just really sad, the whole situation. So that's my first story of the day. So for my second story, there are simply so many live-action Disney remakes in the works that I've legitimately lost count. It's time to add another one to the list, and this time around, it's a live-action remake of the 1973 animated classic Robin Hood. It's said that this live-action remake is aiming for a Disney Plus release, like Disney's recent live-action remake Lady and the Tramp, rather than a theatrical one like Aladdin or The Lion King. Similarly, Disney's live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch also will release through the streaming service. So Carlos Lopez Estrada, best known for his directing Blindspotting, is at the helm of the Robin Hood remake, and he is currently at work on the script. It's said that the movie will be somewhat a hybrid between live action and CGI. Think along the lines of the live action remake of The Lion King. So like they were real animals, but it's got like anyways, you get what I'm saying. Anyways, it will certainly be a wonder to see realistic anthropomorphic animals dancing around and all that stuff. And the remake will be a musical. Unlike the original, if you haven't seen the original and are interested, it is available on Disney Plus. I've seen it. I enjoy that movie. I loved it as a kid. I suggest. I love movies with anthropomorphic animals. It's just, I don't know why. I just love it when animals talk. But I only like it animated wise. I mean, when it's although I don't know. Anyways. So that's my second story of the day. So for my third and final story of the day, a new report confirms that J.J. Abrams will be diving into the DC Comics universe for one of his first projects under the new deal with Warner Brothers, with a series based on Justice League Dark set for the new streaming service HBO Max. Now, Abrams is also developing a spin-off of The Shining called Overlook, though it's not clear if it will be more closely tied to the Stanley Kubrick film or Stephen King's source material. Now, of course, DC fans will likely be more excited by the news of the Justice League Dark project, which I'm so excited for. I'm also excited for the Overlook one. I'm not so much excited for Duster, which is the third project they mentioned in the article. But anyways. This project, which will be a show instead of a long movie that has been stuck in development forever. Like the movie has been stuck in development hell, pretty much. Justice League Dark is in development through Bad Robot and Warner Brothers, through their TV group, and then that is with Abrams' producing partner and wife, Katie McGrath, working on the project as well. What an amazing start to our association with the wildly imaginative Bad Robot team under JJ and Katie, said Kevin Riley, Chief Content Officer at HBO Max. What could be better than an original JJ idea and then Warner Brothers letting them loose on iconic IP from Stephen King to the DC universe and to provide more must-have programming on HBO Max. Now, Abrams' version of the project is only the latest in the long line of attempts to adapt Justice League Dark for live action, with Hellboy and Pacific Rim filmmaker Guillermo del Toro's production being the most noteworthy. Doug Liam also signed on to direct, though that project was also short-lived. Justice League Dark mostly focuses on paranormal characters of the DC universe, with some of the most popular superheroes being Swamp Thing, Zatanna, Constantine Deadman, Etrigan, the Demon, and others. Now, those ones that I did name, all of those people, Swamp Thing, Zatanna, Constantine Deadman, and Etrigan, are apparently the lineup for the Justice League Dark. Now, Justice League Dark, Overlook, and a new original series entitled Duster, which I mentioned before, were all announced by HBO Max as the first projects to come from Abrams' overall deal with Warner Brothers, meaning the filmmaker and Bad Robot have their hands full for the foreseeable future. It's not clear who Abrams will assemble to write, direct, and produce the project, but with popular shows like Westworld and Lost under his belt, fans can likely look forward to another epic television event with some revered DC Comics superheroes in the mix. Now, I kind of have a mixed bag on this story just because, and I'm only going to talk about Justice League Dark because the other two projects the Duster show sounds, I don't know, but the Overlook one sounds great, but I'm a huge DC fan, so I just want to talk about that one. I think that this sounds good on paper. But I think Abrams has a problem with certain things, and that is story and explanation of things going on in his story. Like, he has MacGuffins. I'll bring up Star Wars. He has these MacGuffins that he doesn't explain ever. He doesn't explain their backstory, how they came to be. They're just there. And we're supposed to take them and just be okay with it. And I'm not okay with that. I feel like if you are a good writer, you'll be able to write what needs to happen for an audience member to get all their questions answered. And if we don't get every single question, but you can only leave like one or two questions open, and you only do that so later on you can bring that stuff in. I mean, that's how you leave a question in a season 1 unanswered so you can do it in season 2. But JJ, I feel like Abrams has a problem with that in everything that he does. But at the same time, I want a Justice League Dark live action show. I want a movie too, but I'll settle for a show because they're longer. They're like hour-long episodes, hopefully, and everything. And it's from what some people have said online, they're not going to use anybody that was cast before. So the guy that plays Constantine on Legends of Tomorrow now in the Arrowverse, he will not be playing Constantine on the HBO Max show. Which, at the same time, a small piece of me goes, okay, that's fine. But then a small piece of me goes, don't you kind of want to like connect all those shows together? I don't know though, and I don't care. I'm gonna watch it no matter what. So tell me, what do you guys think about these three stories? How do you feel about Bob Iger stepping up and taking the reins again during this pandemic and this crisis, taking over Disney, everything, because they're losing money every day? Also, how do you feel about Robin Hood, the animated movie, being turned into a live-action anthropomorphic animal movie on Disney+? And then how do you feel about this Justice League Dark show coming to HBO Max? And how do you feel about J.J. Abrams doing it? Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys next Sunday on my Week in Review. You guys have a good week, and please stay safe. Bye. Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my Week in Review.